These are Transformers Rise of the Beast model kits from Yolopark, and as a newbie to model kits, they are pretty impressive. Each character offers an easy building experience for beginners, incredible detail, and well done articulation. Let's talk about it. Keeping the theme of testing different figures and lines on the channel this year, we are finally looking at some Transformers. I know several of you have been asking for some Transformers content lately, and I've been itching to take a look at some myself. Before diving in, I want to thank the people at Yolopark for sending these for free to review. The opinions expressed in this video are my own and remain sincere, so you know what to expect. We have 3 characters we're looking at from Rise of the Beast: Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Optimus Primal. I'm glad that for Yolopark's first release, these are the characters we got, especially seeing how important they are to the film. These all seem like a great starting point for someone looking for some detailed Transformers set in the current movie universe. They're loaded with features, and the crazy thing is they only cost $30 each. This video will be the first time in years since I've messed with Transformers. I used to have some of the Michael Bay figures, and I even had this Star Wars collaboration Millennium Falcon. So if you can't tell already, I am quite excited to get these things open, build them, and see what they're all about. So let's do that, starting with the packaging. The artwork all over this thing looks phenomenal and plays into Rise of the Beast jungle setting. The cover art features 2 images of the character, one in a full body pose and the other in a close-up shot that reveals more detail. The product is packed with logos and text, such as the movie logo and branding, which indicate that this is an official Transformers product licensed by Hasbro. This cover art design also applies to Bumblebee and Primal as well. It also makes mention that this is a part of Yolopark's AMK series, plus each model's height. Optimus Prime and Primal are 20 centimeters tall, while Bumblebee is 16 centimeters, which makes sense since he's the shortest character in this group. Each side shows different shots of the characters, and the top shows the movie logo again. At the back, a few snaps show the figure's features such as detail, articulation, and even a parts breakdown. This layout is the same for each box, with slight color changes to match each character. But enough about the boxes, because we have so much more to do, like building these kits and looking at the details, so let's get to it, starting with Optimus Prime. Opening the box reveals a tray with a disassembled Optimus Prime, reminiscent of his appearance in the 1986 film, albeit in color and not deceased. A nitpick I have is removing the tray cover secured by annoying plastic tags. I tried pulling and slicing them off, which didn't help much. It was a bit of a struggle because some of the tags were hard to spot, and so when I thought it was done, I wasn't. I firmly believe that if they chose tape as a sealing option, this would have been a much better experience. As I said before, this model kit is easy to build, and that's because there aren't any plastic runners like Gundam kits, and no tools are required for assembly. Yolopark takes care of the detailed work on those smaller parts and leaves the major sections for us builders to assemble. Laying out all the pieces, you see what needs assembly and the incredible detail of each piece. My favorite thing about kits like these is seeing every detail in person that you might overlook on screen. Optimus Prime includes instructions guiding the build, and they seem pretty easy to follow. So easy that we don't even need the instructions. Okay, so it's been a minute, and I kinda wish I didn't throw those instructions away. With everything laid out and instructions back in hand, let's get building. Everything assembled, we have our first Transformer of the video, and he looks fantastic. The only pieces left are these alternate hands, but more on those later. The craftsmanship of this model is outstanding from head to toe. The main selling point for Transformers is their transforming capability, but none of these kits do that. While this may seem like a downside at first, I actually think it's a good thing because this means they can focus more on detail and articulation of the model. Prime has a screen-accurate head sculpt and intricate mechanical details that impress. There's also some cool sculpting near the neck and shoulder area. Looking at the body, Yolopark did a great job capturing those intricate mechanical details and the noticeable exterior ones such as blacked out windows, windshield wipers, shiny smokestacks, and more. While examining the figure for review, I noticed little things here and there that made me appreciate this thing more and more. The Autobot symbol is on his shoulder, but if you pay close attention, you'll spot it in the grille as well, which is a screen-accurate detail. Flipping Optimus around, there is more mechanical detailing, and they truly gave it their all. Making our way down toward the rest of the figure, we have the legs, which look stellar. These complete the Generation 1 inspired design seen in the movie with perfection. Looking closely, you'll see all the gears, knobs, and wheels, and the sculpting work of the feet is pretty solid too. Color-wise, Optimus boasts accurate shades of blue, red, white, silver, and gunmetal gray, but it's presented in a cleaner appearance compared to the weathered style seen in Rise of the Beast. Customization enthusiasts may opt for a battle-worn aesthetic, which shouldn't be difficult since these pieces are detachable. I'm not sure if I'll do that with these models, but if that's something you'd like to see me attempt, be sure to drop a like and subscribe because I just might give it a shot. Optimus's accessories, primarily swappable hands, disappoint slightly. There's a pair of fists, open hands, a pointing hand, and a trigger hand that all attach via ball joint, but that's it. Optimus Prime is weaponless, and that puzzles me for two reasons. He used weapons in the movie, and the Optimus Primal kit comes with weapons, which I'll show later. I think they should have at least given Optimus one of the weapons he uses, like his arm cannon, swords, or axe. In my opinion, Optimus's articulation is well matched to the character's design. His head rotates on a ball joint, but mine is extremely tight. There's also a tilt back and forth at the base of his neck, shoulder rotation, a butterfly joint, but only going forward, and both of the arms can raise this high. The nice thing is that the shoulder pieces move as you lift the arm for the best range possible, but just remember to reposition them after putting the arms back down. Continuing with the rest of the arm, there's a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and movement at the wrist. Optimus has movement at the diaphragm and his waist, but it stops right about here. He has these articulated flaps which improve the range of the legs, allowing them to go this far back and forth and do splits. For the rest of his legs, there's a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and ankle rotation with tilt side to side and toe pivot as well. Oh, and the wheels do spin if you want to count that. Coming in hot, we have the brave Bumblebee. I won't go into detail about every aspect of the build for this guy in Primal, as it's the same experience as Optimus Prime, just with different parts. Instead, let's do a sexy build montage to a fresh beat.
But tonight, don't call it a comeback!
As sick as it would be to use this track, I cannot play that all the way through, so let's find a different one. Here we are with Bumblebee, and as much as I love Prime, I love this figure a lot more. Yolopark captured Bee's Rise of the Beast appearance well. His head sculpt accurately depicts his round blue eyes and silver parts like the mouth and the side area that's exposed. Paying close attention, you'll spot the tiny Autobot symbol in the middle of his forehead too. My favorite part of this model has to be the chest piece with the front of the 1977 Camaro he transforms into. It has a lovely paint job, as you can see, with the silver grille and bumper, and the stripes are looking clean. Bumblebee's design has several areas exposing those mechanical parts at the back, abdomen, and arms. Speaking of his arms, these look rather sleek. I am impressed by the sharp angles and curved areas for the armored plates, and everything blends in pretty well. Taking a look at the back again, Bee has those iconic wing doors and wheels. There is some sculpting on the interior of the door, and the window uses a metallic bluish gray color. Bumblebee's legs have more of those well-made armored plates, spinning wheels, and nicely sculpted feet that look like boots. I wish we had the gunmetal color on the flat gray sections of the arms and legs, but as I said before, there's always customization. Bumblebee does come with swappable hands. He starts off with the fist, but he also has these relaxed hands and opened up hands. However, he suffers from the same problem as Prime, where he has no weapons. I would have loved to see the ion blasters for his arms, and the armored look would have been a nice inclusion for an additional head. As for Bee's articulation, it's pretty darn good. Head rotation and tilt at the neck plus articulated ear flaps. The arms have shoulder rotation and limited butterfly joints, plus they raise this high. To my surprise, the armor piece on the shoulder also moves too. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows with extra range if you rotate the forearm, and wrist movement going in any direction. Both wing doors can be repositioned if you like. There's movement at the diaphragm and 360-degree waist swivel. These legs kick back and forth, do splits, and bend at the knees in the most satisfying way. Last but not least, there's spinning wheels at the side of the feet, ankle tilt back and forth, side to side, and rotation with a bit of toe pivot. The final Transformer we will be discussing is Optimus Primal. This is currently the only Maximo model kit that Yolopark has released at the time of filming, but more are on the way for those interested. Rise of the Beast is the Maximo's first ever live action appearance, and I must say, this design is amazing. I mean, it's way better looking than that animated Beast Wars design. Sheesh. As for the figure, they perfectly captured the movie's unique look, especially with the damaged armor. His head has a solid sculpt with green eyes, a mask covering the mouth, and pointed ears. There is a neat but annoying feature about his head, but we'll get to that in a moment. Like Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, Primal displays intricate detailing around the neck area. He also has several plates for his armor, some cracked, with others resembling skin or fur. Turning him back around, he has an exoskeleton-looking spine and a bunch of pistons, which look incredible. Maximals have a different symbol from the Autobots, which Primal proudly dons on his chest, and it's in the same shiny silver we see on other parts of his body. He's got massive arms with ape-like hands and beefy legs showing off his physique. There's also more mechanical detailing found on the arms and legs, joined by great details from his feet. Primal did get the better end of the stick with accessories unlike Prime and B. For additional hands, he has a pointing hand, a fist, and a pair of gripping hands for his massive swords. These have some incredible sculpting work, and that shiny silver for the blades is a nice touch. Both swords fit firmly in the grip of his hands to dual wield and kick some Terracon butt. Plus, there's an added feature to combine his swords as he does in the movie, and it looks amazing. Previously, I mentioned that the head has a nifty yet irritating feature, and it has to do with the alternate faceplate. You're supposed to lift off the top of Primal's head to change his face, and what should have been an easy process wasn't, because the piece was super tight on mine. It was seriously a struggle until I had the bright idea to use my knife. Also, the eye may fall out on the faceplate that you remove, so just be on the lookout if that happens. I'm hoping these two issues aren't widespread, because to be honest, they are a pain. Primal's alternate face is okay, but I wouldn't go to the trouble of using it because the masked face is, in my opinion, 10 times cooler. Primal's articulation feels like a cross between Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. For starters, there's a ball joint movement at the head, but this collar at the back gets in the way sometimes. Shoulders can rotate, forward-only butterfly joints, and a phenomenal range when raising the arms. The shoulder armor does move, there's a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist movement, and a movable armor covering the forearm. Primal has some decent movement at the diaphragm along with smooth rotation at the waist. When it comes to the legs, they can kick forward quite high, but the movement going back is limited. His legs are capable of doing splits, but you'll need to slide the wheel-like piece out of the track in order to do it. The knees bend with a piston-like function, the ankles can tilt and rotate, and there's a 3-section toe pivot. These Transformers model kits offer an incredible building experience for beginners with meticulous details and impressive articulation. Yolopark hit the mark, capturing the essence of these iconic characters' live-action designs at an astonishing $30 each. As someone like myself that's just getting back into Transformers, these were a lot of fun. While these model kits may not transform and may lack some accessories, they're worth considering for your collection, whether you're a seasoned enthusiast, a newcomer, or just looking for a Transformers experience featuring those crazy designs and action figure articulation. There is a Rhinox, Cheetor, and Scourge on the way, but my fingers are crossed for a Mirage because he was one of my favorite characters in the movie. Once again, a massive thanks to Yolopark for making this review possible. They were also kind enough to provide a special discount code for all of you, giving you 5% off your order of these Rise of the Beast kits. Just be sure to use the code TheGeekEffect or use the link in the description. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to show your support by dropping a like and subscribing for more action figure goodness, because there's a lot of epic stuff on the way. Plus, we're about to reach 10,000 subscribers before you know it, and I could not be more excited. I'll catch you all in the next one, but until then, peace out. I'm kidding, I just wanted a way to fit that into this video, but here's the normal outro.